That is Jose Ortiz with the kickoff. It's brought back out to the 28-yard line. Patriots, Lejante Pearson bringing it back, and they will begin this game 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
And what's very important for the Patriots tonight is early in the game. Against Fresno High a couple of weeks ago, they were behind 19-0 before they got a first down. And they really need to establish something, get a couple of first downs, play physical on the line, don't make any mistakes, and don't turn the ball over.
Jordan Daniels at quarterback for the Patriots. He has been the starter much of the season, but they've been alternating a bit as of late. And that's what he likes to do, and that's what he can do very well, is run with a football. Looks as though he may have just gotten back at the line of scrimmage.
And he's one of the fastest backs in the NYL right now, and has a lot of speed if he can get outside. Sunnyside does have good backers right now. It's going to be an uphill fight for the Pates. The Patriots also have Taj Hart at tailback, and he's another weapon.
And he can throw the football very effectively as well. Sunnyside showing blitz. Hart now in there, fires. And that's coming out to almost the first down marker at about the 38-yard line.
That was the tight end, Joseph Smith. And in this Patriots' lone victory against Washington Union, Smith had quite a game. And he's a real weapon if they get him the ball. He's a physical player and doesn't mind coming across the middle.
Now their third quarterback of the game, Vincent Andrews, is lining up behind center out of the pistol. And with the give, looks like that went to Albert Navarro. And he is just short of the first down marker.
So right now with the Patriots, with their kicking game the way it was, it appears they're going to go for it right now, and I definitely applaud that decision.
4th down and 2 from the 37-yard line. Big play for the Patriots. Taj Hart in the backfield with the give around the far side. They got the first down.
Oh, it's Lejante Pearson coming around, and I love that. It's the best thing the Patriots could have done. If they would have got stuffed, so what? You know?
Gutsy call, but they get dividends out of it. So the Patriots first and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Vincent Andrews in the backfield at quarterback. 3 players have shuffled around in 5 plays. Andrews flushed from the pocket, tucks it, just gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard before he's brought down.
And a good job by Andrews not going for negative yardage on that, because Sunnyside just overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage. And Andrews not only avoided a 5 or 6 yard loss, he got a 2-yard gain on that.
Looked as though initially he was looking to pass, as you see there, but tucked it up and got back. Doesn't give him a gain of a yard. So we're looking at 2nd down and 8 from the 45. 4 receivers. Andrews, the lone, set in the backfield. Goes to the air, goes to his big tight end. The ball's deflected. Jump ball situation, but it falls to the ground incomplete.
That ball had an excellent chance of being intercepted, and I will hand it to Joseph Smith on that one again. When he wasn't going to catch it, he made sure nobody else picked it off.
So that'll bring down a key 3rd and 8 from the Hoover 45-yard line. Andrews remains in the backfield at quarterback. 5 receivers. And Sunnyside's coming. Pass goes incomplete. And that's 4th down.
Well, the Patriots are bringing in the punting team on that. That last play had no chance. Even if he caught the ball, he was going to be brought down immediately.
The completed pass certainly called off the blitzes that Sunnyside was showing, but they challenged them to try to throw successfully there, and they were not able to do it.
Hoover's punting game was very interesting against Fresno High 2 weeks ago, and we'll see if they've done a few niches on that over the last 2 weeks.
Punt fielded at the 28-yard line. He's across midfield. He could go. He's brought down at the 30-yard line.
And Daniel Hernandez, the punter, he got got down, got low, and made initial contact and prevented that from going all the way.
That was Braun Heights, and he is a dangerous athlete. Plays both ways, the senior for the Wildcats, and boy, they have got tremendous field position for their first offensive series of the night. 1st and 10 from the Hoover 31-yard line.
We're going to see fast football when the Wildcat offense is on the field.
In at quarterback, Donovan Kong, one of the great success stories of this season. He has taken the helm of this team and led it extremely well. On the reverse, cuts back upfield. This is Marquet Williams down to the 20-yard line, very close to a first down.
And Dan Marquet Williams, just a junior, he waited for his blocks to develop. It looked like he may have been caught initially back. He fought off a block and then just waited for the defense to overrun the play a little bit. Saw an opening, and he's off to the races. And very close to a first down.
Nice tackle there by Jordan
Daniels.
Daniels.
Get the first.
Through the hands of Marquet Williams on that one, incomplete. Wildcats had successfully achieved a first down on that nice reverse and run by Williams, so now that brings up 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Kong with the give. That's Sherwin King. And King gets another first down. Donovan spotting it at the 10-yard line.
Sunnyside's offensive line pushed Hoover back several yards right at the point of contact.
Hard to tell if the spot is just beyond the 10. No, it is a 1st and goal. Kong throws for the end zone. Touchdown, Sunnyside. Deshaun Ruffin.
And just as quick as that, Dan, Sunnyside's got that 6-0 lead, and Hoover's got that uphill climb going again.
Ruffin between 2 Hoover defenders holds it in. Well thrown ball. And they're lining up for 2. On the Wildcat. And that's Sherwin King. In he goes. And it's an 8-0 Sunnyside lead. So the Wildcats strike first. Very impressive.
Sunnyside likes going for 2, and they show you so many different looks. It's hard to defend that. Sometimes they will line up in the swinging gate formation, and all kinds of variations happen off of that. Really tough to defense it.
I'm looking at your smile, and I can tell as the old special teams coach, you love that.
I really do like that, yeah.
So Sunnyside on top early, 8-0, as is with just 8:18 remaining here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. As you see one more look at it, Donovan Kong threads the needle. And Sherwin King splits those 2 defenders and in for the first score of the night.
Sunnyside gets set for the kickoff, and Dan, it's just so demoralizing when the first time your opponent gets a possession, they take it down and put 6 on you. It's just really difficult.
Three very quick first downs on that drive.
Yeah.
And into the end zone, indeed. And you mentioned they like to go for 2 a lot, but they have one of the better kickers here in the Valley, and that's Jose Ortiz, who just puts it right through the end zone. So Hoover will come out and start possession at their 20-yard line, trailing 8-0. Patriots already in a game of catch-up, which they have been throughout the season. Last week, though, Fred, for them, a very, very hard-fought game. They were in till the very final buzzer.
And last week was one of the best games they played. They beat Washington Union. They had a chance to beat Sierra Pacific, the 2nd game of the season. And last week, I think they may have caught the Rough Riders looking ahead or being a little bit complacent, and they were able to play a real good football game. That same Rough Rider team came within an eyelash of beating Sunnyside.
Vincent Andrews to the air. He connects with Joe Smith. Nice pickup to the 36-yard line.
Joseph Smith is a big target at tight end, and as we had mentioned before, He's not scared of going up after the ball. You will not see him pull his arms down when there's going to be contact.
Well, Smith was matched up with Marquez Williams on that one, and he's got quite a height advantage. He has a height advantage on anybody on that Sunnyside defense that covers it. Here goes Andrews to the air one more time.
Now, number 18 for the Patriots, despite our work here, we don't have a name for that number, so we're just going to let you guess. And he took a real hit, initially slowed down, then bam. Stopped in his tracks after a 6-yard gain, however.
2nd and 4 from the 42 for the Patriots. Andrews up top one more time. There's Big Joe Smith, flung out of bounds across midfield. Gets the ball down to the Sunnyside 48-yard line. So the Patriots moving impressively here.
Third first down here of the night.
Smith not only offers a nice big target, but has good hands to go with it and good running speed as well.
And he doesn't avoid contact.
1st and 10 from the Sunnyside 48. Wildcats drop back into pass defense. Quick hitter. That's Alexis Torres.
Just a little out pass to Urban, and he may have lost a yard on that completion.
Pretty close. They're going to give him a generous spot. Put it at the 49. Yeah, you're right. He did lose a yard. So it brings up 2nd down and 11 for the Patriots. A lot of enthusiasm here. It's homecoming for Sunnyside High School. You can hear the band, you can hear the cheerleaders. And out on the field, Hoover High would like to silence them. Andrews tucks a piece flush from the pocket. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but comes up a yard or two short.
And Andrews had 6 different guys within a couple of yards of him, too. Did a good job just getting back to the line of scrimmage.
That play broke down very, very quickly. So 3rd down and 11 for the 3rd down and 12, I should say, for the Hoover Patriots. That ball almost came out as we see a close-up there in the replay.
He's fortunate
Andrews,
to hold on to that.
I'm sure is going to hear from his coaches about protecting the football a little bit better.
Yeah, they may casually mention that to him. Sunnyside,
I don't think they'll casually mention it to him.
Well, I tried to throw that.
This is football, Fred.
Yeah.
At least I know
Hey,
if
ball.
Plummer was still
Encroachment.
on the Hoover High sideline, it would not be a
Defense,
casual
5 yards.
mention.
3rd down.
It would not. No.
Wonder if Pat's here tonight.
Well, we'll locate him before the end of the game if he's down there. 5-yard penalty on the Wildcats.
Yeah, Wildcats did jump. Hoover picks up 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 7 as opposed to 3rd down and 12. Andrews still at quarterback after the early quarterback shuffling.
Here they come.
Looks for his receiver Smith. Incomplete. Flag thrown.
Yeah, now I don't know what they're going to call on this one. The flag went up before there was contact on the field.
Throw it to the far side, but the call came from the side judge on this side, and it was against the Patriots. Decline.
4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
If any of you folks think that Dan and I are even more dysfunctional than usual, we cannot hear each other talk up in the booth, so we're just kind of winging it right now.
You had to give it away.
Had to give it away. I had to have some type of an excuse for this.
So Patriots going for it here on 4th and 7. Actually, after the penalty, a lot more than just 7.
Well, Patriots call a timeout there at the last minute. You can't much blame Coach Nass for maybe wanting to go for it. Last time after the punt return came back further than the punt went in the first place. Against Fresno High 2 weeks ago, Fresno High took one to the house, and I think they were averaged about 25 yards per punt return. And Daniel Hernandez was running for his life. He did an excellent job, and kickers and punters don't get complimented, but I've got to give Hernandez some credit on a bad snap for a extra point attempt last week. 2 weeks ago, he got his clock cleaned. And it was a clean hit, and I thought, my God, is this young man ever going to move again? Popped right up like it was nothing and jogged to the sidelines.
Patriots looking at a 4th and 12, ball resting at midfield. And they are coming out and going for it here. Big call on this one by the coach, Justin Nast. 4 receivers. Andrews, pump fake, going deep. He's got a man, and it's picked off. That's Sherwin King, and he's coming back. Correction, that's Marquet Williams. He's at midfield. Williams to the 40. Run out of bounds at the Hoover High 40-yard line.
Well, pretty much like a good punt return on that too, Dan.
Absolutely right.
And I'm not going to fault Hoover for going for that at all.
Correction, Deshaun Ruffin with that interception. Ball overthrown a bit, but you're right. It's just the same as a punt. Ruffin.
A punt with a good return.
He had a lane down that far sideline right in front of the Hoover High bench. Now they're going to spot the ball at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Patriots in a base vanilla defense. Donovan Kong rolls to the near side. He airs it out. A receiver wide open, and it is incomplete. Ball came out as he was hit.
Well, the ball hung up a little bit, and Williams was wide open, but he had to wait for the ball to come back. I still thought it should have been caught, but he gave the defender enough time to get back and at least make a hit and force the ball out.
Terrific play call. Snead had to come back on it, and the hit jarred the ball loose. So 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line for the Wildcats, who sit on an 8-0 lead with 5 minutes to go here in this first quarter of play. On the reverse, Sherwin King. He's across the 35-yard line.
Got a long 3 yards on that. On that previous play, if Snead would have been hit in stride, the ball is just a little bit underthrown. And Kong was thrown on the run.
Trips to the near side in the diamond formation. And whistles and a penalty flag stop things. Motion penalty, tax 5 yards on the spot, and it now makes it 3rd down and 13 for Sunnyside.
Gordon Wood doesn't look too pleased with whoever made that mistake.
Gong getting a final play call to his receivers. 4 receivers. Gong from the pistol. 2-step drop, and he airs it out. Incomplete, brings up a 4th down.
Ball slightly overthrown. And Hoover was able to get a little bit of pressure in. Christopher Perea came in, put a little bit of pressure on, and I think Kong had to throw the ball a little bit sooner than he would have pleased.
An injured player in the end zone, one of the defenders on that play. So the officials have taken a timeout. The Hoover trainers have come out.
I didn't see what happened at the end of the play, Dan.
Brief break in the action while the Hoover medical staff and their head coach down in the end zone tending to the injured Patriot. Now the rest of the team gathers near their sideline to visit with their coaches. Wildcats, you see at the bottom of your screen, Gordon Wood with a pair of pants that I haven't seen since Rodney Dangerfield shown in Caddyshack.
Yeah, when I saw him before the game, I looked at those pants and I theorized he probably lost a real embarrassing bet where his choices were either wear those pants and dress up like, Queen Elizabeth. And I think he took the pants.
Didn't know if that was the case, or maybe he got some mixed signals that maybe they needed a test pattern out in our C-Max Sports truck tonight.
There has to be some logical reason.
You're going to find out, I know, after the game.
Yeah.
You two Wyoming Cowboys love to talk, and I'm sure you're going to get to the bottom of this before the night is over.
Yeah, it definitely is piqued my curiosity.
Well, the injured Patriot being helped off the field from the back zone.
I can't get a number from this angle, Dan.
Fred, how did they know? So 4th and 13, and Sunnyside's going to go for it. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Hoover Patriots. Wildcats on top here early, 8-0. They took their first possession in with a couple of big first downs and a touchdown and 2-point conversion. And now they're trying to keep this drive alive. Donovan Pong looking up top. Flushed from the pocket. Overthrows his receiver. And the ball will go to the Patriots on downs.
And that Hoover had done a good job on defense. And Kong just threw the ball away. That play had no chance of success.
So 3:59 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Sunnyside High sits on top of the Hoover Patriots 8-0. Potentially a big night for Sunnyside High's football program as they hold a one-game lead atop the North Yosemite League standings with 2 to play tonight and a game with Reedley next week. Reedley High sits in second. They're playing Fresno High tonight. Should the Warriors knock off Reedley High and Sunnyside High come out victorious over the Patriots tonight, Sunnyside High School would be crowned the new North Yosemite League champions. Andrews with the give. And a gain of about a yard.
Well, Dan, when you mentioned Sunnyside being able to claim the league championship, that game we had a couple of weeks ago where Sunnyside held off Roosevelt. Roosevelt scored on the last play of the game and missed a 2-point conversion that would have sent it in overtime, and I'm sure the Rough Riders are going to be thinking that for a long time. Now, next week we have the big game between Roosevelt and Fresno High.
It'll be big. It's always fun.
That should be a really, really competitive game.
2nd and 9 for the Patriots, and the Wildcats nose guard jumps.
Well, you were a prophet, Dan. Early on, we were talking about Sunnyside's penalty woes in the first quarter, and they come back again. A couple offside penalties, illegal procedure. They're not quite in total sync yet.
Brings up 2nd and 4. Ball at the 40, just shy of the 45-yard line. Andrews sends 3 receivers to the top of your screen as he calls out the signals. Big rush. He's got a lane. He's got a first down. Vincent Andrews looked as though they had him trapped in the backfield, and he managed to evade the rush and had room to run.
Andrews
and picked up a big first down.
A disaster. One Wildcat had his hands on him. 2 could have had the chance, and then that little pump fake gave him a little bit more time, and he's able to get first down yardage.
Patriots pushed it across midfield. Ball sits at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Andrews fires. Pass complete. Gain of a couple.
Small gain, Dan, and you know, I'm just little criticism. I want to see Taj Hart running between the tackles a little bit. Number 4, the Patriots tailback. He's got a lot of talent. He's healthy again right now, and he can bang between the tackles.
Taj Hart, actually the receiver who comes to the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 8 from the 45. On the give. You heard the crowd react to that hit.
And that, it appeared that, Pearson was trying to cut back and go inside real quick, and he got hammered.
3rd down and 8 now for the Patriots, who come up to the line of scrimmage. That was Pearson on the carry, actually. Trying to get a quick hit and a screen. Ball falls to the turf, incomplete.
And the ball is a little bit underthrown to Hart. If he would have picked it up, that's still going to be a minimal gain too. Fourth down for the Patriots, and Daniel Hernandez is coming in to punt, a name that we've been calling a lot the last few Patriot games.
Did a nice job on the season, averaging 25 yards a punt, and he's been punting a lot this season.
And a lot of those he's been running for his life.
High snap, he pulls it down, gets it off. On a dead run, fielded. Up the far sideline, across midfield. He could go. He will go. Touchdown, Sunnyside. No penalty flags. Just plenty of celebrating.
Once again, boy, these glaring special teams errors here for the Patriots. It'll be an 83-yard return, Dan.
Ron Heights, we've seen him do this before. Oh, he was impressive.
Off to the races, and four Patriots had a hand on him.
For the Wildcats score in big fashion.
And another interesting two-point conversion attempt.
With the swinging gate, gets shoveled. Now thrown. And it's complete. Nope. Other official comes in to overrule the play and says the ball was on the ground, incomplete. So you look at some of the players arguing that they had it.
I'd like to see that again. That was
to no avail. This
very
is like
unusual.
To see a replay on if we can get it, but it was an interesting play.
Totally off our sight lines.
So with 1:01 remaining in the first quarter, Sunnyside High, with their second score of the game, sits on top of the Patriots 14-0. The long punt return and a very impressive punt return. But let's take one more look here, Fred, at that conversion attempt as they went with a swinging gate. And then Sherwin-Williams with the jump pass.
Okay, I see the ball on the ground now. And I see why one of the officials ruled it good, because it looks like he came down with the ball, went out of bounds, and then lost it. And, well, I guess when somebody says no, I don't know the procedure.
From a different angle,
yeah. But to me, I see why it was called good initially.
To the Wildcats to kick off, and their talented young kicker, Jose Ortiz, will do the honors. Patriots already in a two-touchdown hole, 14-0 our score here from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us on CMAX Sports, Week 9 of the high school football regular season. And a night that could be a big one for the Wildcats as they're hoping to come away from this night as the new North Yosemite League champions.
And another touchback for the Wildcats. Hoover will start this possession on their own 20-yard line. And Dan, I just cannot stress enough how disappointed I am when I see punt returns for touchdowns week after week like this. And something just is not getting done. And I'm not going to go into all the technicalities on the air, but this should not be happening. And the Patriots need to do a lot of work on their punting team, a lot. And no, Coach Nast, I'm not available unless the money is overwhelming.
Patriots begin from their 20. Pearson to the far side. He's got a lane, and he's got a big gain across midfield. And he's pulled down at the 42-yard line of the Sunnyside Wildcats.
Enormous play by the Patriots there, about a 38-yard gain. Gets him into some Wildcat territory. And Pearson accelerates to the outside, makes one cut in. Okay, let's call that a good block there. And it looked like Smith wasn't really sure about who he was supposed to block at that time. I think he was surprised that Pearson got out there.
Well, I'd be surprised if I ever saw a wide receiver given an award for blocking.
Yeah. I second
Big play
the
for
motion.
the Patriots.
Second the motion.
That ball now all the way down to the 42-yard line of the Wildcats, where the Patriots will put it in play. 1st and 10. Andrews in the backfield. 5 receivers. And the way they're lining up, it's as though they think they can throw the football on Sunnyside. Andrews, high snap, breaks this play down before anything can get going, and he's scrambling and flung out of bounds.
And for the most part, that play was dead on arrival. The ball was snapped. Andrews did a good job bringing it back down, but by then the timing was off. The play was done. Andrews did all he could do.
Final 15 seconds of the first quarter. So there you see Andrews salvaging what could have been disaster, and only comes away with a loss of a yard at the conclusion of this play. Patriots will let the clock run out to end the first quarter of play. Sunnyside High comes over to their sideline to confer with a couple of the assistant coaches. Our score at the end of one quarter of play here from Sunnyside Stadium. The Wildcats on top over the Hoover High Patriots, 14-0. And Fred, special teams have been huge in this one.
Well, you have a punt return for a touchdown, another punt return that goes almost 40 yards. In those 2 plays alone, that is gigantic, and you cannot come back from errors like that. The one positive thing that I see out of the Patriots, so they haven't turned the ball over, and they haven't had any major penalties yet. A couple of minor penalties.
Between the 20s, they've been solid so far tonight. A couple of penalties have hurt them, but for the most part, their offense looks a lot better than when we saw it a few weeks ago here.
And as Coach Nass said too, you know, we're looking at small victories and you think, well, you're not supposed to turn the ball over. But they didn't, and it could be worse than it is right now. And on the other hand, Coach Wood, you know, you got a 2-touchdown lead right now, but they haven't really got their offense into sync yet. 2 big punt returns and a interception return has put them in real good yardage right now.
So the Patriots now going from your left to right. 2nd down and 11. Andrews throws to the near side, and it is deflected away from the receiver by Deshaun Ruffin. Boy, he closed very, very quickly on that play.
Yeah, Ruffin caught on that real quick. He came within just a flash of being able to pick that off and go. He read that play from the get-go, and looks like Andrews is down.
Yeah,
here.
Andrews is down.
Yeah, he was hit just as he got rid of the ball. We were unable to see from this angle if his leg got twisted, but that's what it appears has happened.
So the Patriots quarterback, Vincent Andrews, being attended to down on the field. 2 teams now head to their sidelines to confer with the coaches.
Well, the Patriots do have other players that have lined up at quarterback, so it would. Andrews, I like his playmaking ability, but if he's down here, and it looks like he's going to be down for a while, we're probably not going to see him for a little bit.
He's thrown the football effectively tonight, especially with Big Joe Smith. Had some big completions to him. When we saw them a few weeks ago, the passing game was abysmal. They had a lot of difficulty with it, and really had to just keep the ball on the ground. And
what I like about Andrews is his ability to really think on his feet. That one play where the ball was a good 2 feet over his head, he's able to bring it down and at least make an unsuccessful play instead of a disaster. And there's a big difference.
So Vincent Andrews being helped from the field by the Patriot staff. Tim Carey, the athletic director, who is also an athletic trainer. And we will see what the Patriots do next at quarterback. Jordan Daniels, I think, was initially behind the center of their first play of the night, and he's the young man who quarterbacked this team for most of the game here 3 weeks ago.
You know, I'm guessing this is the biggest workout Tim Carey's had in the last couple of weeks, is carrying an injured player off the field. is going to have to go over to the training table, and he appears to be gone for the evening.
So Jordan Daniels lines up now at quarterback for the Patriots. He's got Pearson alongside him. And he would love nothing more than see Pearson chew up some more yards as he did a couple of plays ago. Take some pressure off of the pass rush. 3rd down and 11 from the 43. The keeper pushes it out to the 40.
Just tucks it down and runs, gets a gain of about 3 to 4 yards, Dan, but this is going to bring up 4th and long. And, you know, the Patriots, you're in a position where you just about have to go for it. I'm not real comfortable about the way that ball was being held, but I'm up here.
4th down and 8 from the 40-yard line for the Patriots, trying to get back into this one. Trying to be the spoilers tonight. If they can pull off a miraculous win, they can put a big, big dent into Sunnyside High's hopes for a North Yosemite League title here in week 9 of the 10-week Central Valley High School football regular season. Flushed, gets around near the first down marker, and he may have picked up a first down.
Yeah, they're marking it down at the 30-yard line, Dan, for a first down, and Daniels did a decent job. As soon as the ball hit his hands, we knew what the play was. Sunnyside's defense reacted, but Daniels' speed just won that play for him.
There was an outside linebacker who had penetrated, looked as though he might be able to make a play, and Daniels was able to get around him. Turned out the Jets.
It's coming back.
Sideline, he went.
On the offense, 10 yards, 4th down.
What was that signal?
I got to look that signal up.
We're looking right now about what that was.
Yeah, I am not familiar with that signal. But that is a big, big disappointment for the Patriots. And they go from a big first down to, unfortunately, having to punt the football away for them.
Here we go again.
Here we go. He's got plenty of running room. Up the near sideline to the 30, to the 20. And he is brought down, and a penalty flag flies.
And Hernandez was able to make the tackle again.
Saves the Patriots with that. Let's take one more look at this one, Fred. Ron Heights, he has been dangerous on this night, and a terrific job up the near sideline, following his blockers well.
Looked like it could have been a face mask penalty there.
That same call again. That same signal we had against Hoover.
He tackled.
What is that?
Yeah. He tackled him right as the other kid was coming in to tackle. He tackled the defender.
We even have a official signal call up here, and we cannot find what that call is. Maybe I could get some clarification at halftime.
We may need it.
So yeah, we're trying our best to inform you here, and I cannot find it.
I cannot find it on this either.
So, well, on to bigger and better
and I'm
things.
sure there's somebody at home calling us names saying that we should know this.
I think they do that anyway.
First and 10 for the Wildcats on the give. Up to the right side, that's King, and the penalty flag comes flying again. And please don't be the same call for the 3rd straight play.
Yeah, I hope we don't see that one. The face mask on the Patriots. I do understand that call.
Defense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Yes, an incidental face mask there by Cameron Bledsaw. Just for an instant, he got a piece of that face mask, but that's a no-no, no matter how short or long the duration is that you get that in your hands.
That was a clinic on inept tackling on that play. That should have been stopped for a loss.
Carl Hawkins into the backfield. He takes the carry, gets just a little ways across the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
And we haven't seen Hawkins lined up in the backfield much tonight. That, I think, was his initial carry of the evening.
You're right.
Just a sophomore.
And a talented one at that. Hawkins the lone back. Alongside Donovan Kong. Kong to the air, has his receiver, and right through the midst, incomplete.
That was an interesting incomplete pass, wasn't it?
Sneed looked as though he had touchdown written all over that play.
It looked like there was a possibility of a pick and nothing happened.
So again, Hawkins the lone back alongside Kong in the backfield as we're looking at 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. Kong up the middle, near the first down marker. Looks like he might be a yard short.
Little short here, but Kong, faked the handoff to Hawkins and just kept it. Made a nice run on that. And Kong is not a bad runner. I haven't seen him take off much this season, but when he has, he's got good yardage.
4th and 1, and the Wildcats are going for it, up 14-0 here with 8:53 remaining.
The Patriots need to really stack the box, because I think we're going to see Hawkins with the ball. And the Cats moved a little too soon. Or did the Patriots give them the first down? The latter.
The Ulster maker. Offsides on 4th and 1. So give Sunnyside a gift of 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Already up 14-0, trying for more. Kong fires. Pass incomplete in the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was there. McDowell couldn't hold on to it. Kong had all the time in the world on that.
Second down and goal from the 4-yard line. Give to Hawkins. Kong pulls it
Ball's
back.
loose.
Trying to pull his way in. And did he get in? Yes. The line judge does signal touchdown.
The ball was fumbled into the end zone, and it was recovered by number 50, Kyle Inn. Just fell on it in the end zone. I saw it pop loose.
And that was a big hit.
In followed that all the way, just fell on it in the end zone. I'm guessing that's going to be his first touchdown of the season, Dan.
So the Wildcats on top by a score of 20-0 as they line up in that swinging gate formation. Shovel scoop, fumbled by Sherwin King, and he's not able to try a jump pass this time.
Another unusual formation, and with Sunnyside trying some of this stuff, you don't know what's actually was a mistake or what was planned. We just know it wasn't successful.
So our score with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. The Wildcats sitting on top of the Hoover Patriots by a score of 20-0. Sunnyside High hoping to make this a memorable night. Of course, it's homecoming, always a fun night for the student body in the stands and on the running track where the cheer squad is set up and going through their routines. But this could be a big night for the players in the blue and yellow. They win tonight. Reedley High falls tonight at home to Fresno High, and the Wildcats are the North Yosemite League champions.
And this doesn't really come as much a surprise at the beginning of the season. I think most of us had Sunnyside winning easily. I was surprised at the strides Roosevelt made in Fresno High. I thought they were going to maybe win 4 or 5 games this year. That may be their pinnacle, but what I like about the Warriors is the gritty toughness that they've shown. And they've been a surprise, and You know, Hoover, if they can, stay the course, they can build this back up. They're not, it's not a hopeless situation at Hoover. Just doesn't look real good right now.
So the boot goes right down the middle and bounces into and through the end zone for a touchback. So the Patriots once again will begin their possession at their own 20-yard line.
That's the third Sunnyside kickoff. It's been a touchback, and all three of them have bounced in the end zone. Not one of them has went in the air. Last night with Central and Clovis West, most of Central's kickoffs were going well into the end zone in the air. Clovis West only had one or two opportunities to actually return the football. They were in the hole most of the night.
Jordan Daniels remains at quarterback following the injury in the last possession to Vincent Andrews. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the 20. Give to Pearson. Disaster for the Patriots. Touchdown for Sunnyside.
When it rains, it pours, Dan. Pearson kept trying to pick the ball up and make something happen, and it wasn't happening. The handoff was a little bit high, went off his shoulder pad. Tried to make something happen in a hurry, and he couldn't.
These are the sorts of things that happen when you have quarterback substitutions in a game, and they have not gotten their timing down. They have not gotten the location of handoffs down through a week of preparation. And you have issues like that as the Wildcats will go for two once again under the swinging gate formation. Now they line up.
One of the easiest touchdowns.
For the single extra point. They initially looked like they were in the swinging gate, but they shift back into the kicking position. We've got a whistle.
The kick is barely good.
It's good. And that makes our score 27-0. Sunnyside here with 8 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us here on CMAX Sports. We've had a lot of fun bringing you high school football this season. And Cesar Perez and the crew out in the truck doing a tremendous job throughout the year. And we really have enjoyed working with them and enjoy having all of you at home make us a part of your evening and allow us to bring high school football to you.
Well, the Wildcats get to kick off again for their second play in a row now.
Looking across the way into the Hoover High student section, you'd have a hard time recognizing which of the schools is down 27-0. So they've been having a lot of fun over there, and that's what high school football is all about. On the field, Jose Ortiz tries to get that ball positioned properly on the tee and get this action back underway here. 8:03 to play, 27-0 Sunnyside Wildcats, your score.
Got a little pooch kick.
Ball goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. In fact, one of the things that some people at home may be looking at and saying, wait a minute, they've got a 4-possession lead here, and they're pooch kicking, and they're throwing the football, and they're lining up in the swinging gate, and what's going on here? I don't see a lot of sportsmanship. Well, let's talk about Coach Gordon Wood and how he approaches a season and structuring the teaching of these young men and the preparation of his football team. It's all about the postseason.
It's all about the postseason, and they have the NYL, let's be honest, it's not a real competitive league. And he lines up tough opponents to play early in the season. They take a few lumps, and he hopes that makes him battle-tested. That's Daniels again going to the outside. Cuts in, gets a gain of about 2. But it's difficult to prepare for the postseason, Dan, when you've had your tough games early and then you've had a bunch of easy games. You have to keep trying to do what you do. And when you're a systems coach, and this is pretty much what Sunnyside does, you don't want to get out of that rhythm. Otherwise, then you start making mistakes.
When you get into the postseason, teams are going to exchange videotape, and they want to give the defenses some things to think about. Oh, here's it out. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Patriots. Taj Hart got behind the secondary. Jordan Daniels hits him. An impressive play for the Patriots, who are on the scoreboard.
And we had some seriously blown coverage because Bart has been lined up in the slot, and he was able to sneak out. Nobody picked him up. Well, all we see is he's wide open, and we didn't get a chance to see how. But that is.
You have to wonder there, Fred, because if you look at the statistics, you look at the video of Hoover throughout the season, Jordan Daniels has not thrown the football effectively at all.
No.
When we saw them a couple of weeks ago, as they go for two, and he gets it. Daniels gets across the pylon, and the two-point conversion is good for the Patriots. 27-8 our score. But Daniels has not thrown the football effectively through much of the season when he's been at quarterback. When we saw them 3-4 weeks ago, they didn't throw the football well at all. And you wonder if, with that in mind, the Wildcats were fudging a little bit and just playing up and playing their run.
He was open by 20 yards. He had to wait for the ball to get to him, and there was still no Wildcat close to him. And he was virtually at a stop, and he had to turn it on again. He had no trouble getting in. And that put a little bit of bounce in the step of the Patriots over on the sidelines.
Now the question becomes, can this help Hoover maybe run the football a little bit more effectively throughout the remainder of this game?
Well, I still would like to see that play from the get-go in a slow motion to see what happens. When you see big plays like that, and then you break it down and look at it 5 or 6 times, you can see exactly how this happened.
Daniel Hernandez has the ball set on the tee, surveys the field, and prepares to kick it off for the Patriots, who are on the board here tonight, and also add the two-point conversion for a 27-8 score. Short pooch kick at the 30-yard line. That's where it's fielded by Kendra McDowell, who is bumped out of bounds.
And the Wildcats have the ball at about the 35-yard line. This can be very good field position for this fast-moving offense.
Yeah, it looks like they're spotting it at the 33-yard line, where the Wildcats will.
I'll take that anytime.
A lot of excitement and enthusiasm in the stands for this homecoming night game here at Sunnyside Stadium. Wildcats on top 27-8 over the Hoover High Patriots. With the give, that's King to the near side. Oh, he's got a first down and then some. Sherwin King puts that ball over the 50-yard line to the Hoover High 49.
And Hoover was just a little bit overloaded when he turned that corner. He had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Daniels able to put the hit on him and knock him out of bounds at 49, where it's 1st and 10 now. 7:04 to play here in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. Kong going to go to the air. He's got a receiver open. Ruffin paused momentarily, I think, on that play. Whether it was a stutter step or he actually paused to see what play had actually begun to materialize. But had he not made that momentary pause, he might have been able to haul that ball in.
Catches it right on the run.
Won't be surprised if they don't come back to that play.
We'll see it again. Yeah, Ruffin's got some serious speed.
Sneed, the late man, into the formation. Nothing doing there for the Wildcats. That was John Jones. A huge loss on that play.
When Jones was waiting for one of the Patriot defenders to maybe overrun him there, he was not letting go, and then here comes some help, and he got hit 2-3 times.
So the ball moves all the way back to the 40-yard line. It's a loss of 11 yards, brings up 3rd and 21 for Sunnyside.
That kills that yards per rush average.
Kong gets rid of it quickly. He's got a receiver wide open. Plenty of running room. Sneed knocked out of bounds at the 32. And once again, it was Jordan Daniels.
That Jordan Daniels
makes the play.
Daniels is burning up some serious calories tonight, Dan. Waits for his. That was a nice block. Just waiting for it to set up. Thought could have been a face mask there too.
Kong barking out the signals for the Wildcats. Looking to the air. Airs it out. There's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Marquez Williams.
Yeah, that was,
but there was that play once again.
Had it in his arms. It popped out when he hit the ground. Boy, a couple of those passes Kong's put in there, and they just go as incomplete passes for him, but did his job on that.
2nd and 10. 4 receivers. A double, a reverse to Sneed, trying to get outside, ridden out of bounds after a pickup of about 2.
That's a lot of ball movement, covered a lot of yardage for 2 yards on that.
Correction, that was Braun Heights, the speedster who has been so effective on punt returns, trying to get around the far corner and unable to get that seam that he needed.
You know, it looked like if Steve would have came in back across the drain, he would have had some serious yardage.
3rd down and 7. Patriots hoping they can get a big stop here. Carl Hawkins in the backfield. He takes the handoff, pushing toward that 1st down marker, and I believe he's going to be about a yard short.
As soon as I saw Hawkins in there, Dan, I knew what the play was going to be.
So 4th down for the Wildcats, and they have not been shy about going for it throughout this one on 4th down.
And it marked a little bit shorter than I thought.
Substitutions in there, none of which are a punter, although Carl Hawkins has been known to do some Aussie rules style punting off the run. Ball is at the 27-yard line. 4th and 2. Full house backfield behind Kong. Penalty flag flies. Delay of game. That's going to tack 5 more yards onto the challenge that the Wildcats face here. Make it 4th and 7.
That comfort zone that we're talking about with the Wildcats, once they get out of that, bad things happen. When they have to maybe change plays up a little bit or take more than a couple of seconds to implement what they're planning on doing, they just don't look as effective. That being said, there's been several times that's happened, and then they'll get a 15-yard gain the next play.
Well, as you see in the bottom right corner of your screen, we're looking at a 4th and 7 from the 32-yard line. And Gordon Wood is going to take a timeout here and bring his quarterback over and have a discussion about the play that had been called. Actually, he's not going to talk to his quarterback at all. Looks as though he's going to talk to the officials.
Yeah, I think he wants to discuss that delay of game a little bit. That would seem kind of close. I don't know. We don't have a game clock, so I don't know, or a play clock.
But Fred, at the end of the day, I think we can agree. We've seen many a coach argue with an official about a call, and we've never seen it change a call.
I don't think I have either. See, you're right, Coach. That wasn't holding.
We've seen a lot of football, and I think that's the one thing we've never seen. Fans having a great time here tonight at Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you have joined us, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it is on your cable. Glad you're with us here on CMAX Sports from Sunnyside High Stadium. Week 9 of the 10-week Central Valley High School football season. And it's been great to be part of CMAC Sports and their coverage throughout the year. Sunnyside High hoping with a win tonight and a Reedley loss down in Reedley that they come away from this night crowned the North Yosemite League champions. Kong airs it out. He's got a man open, and he just overthrows it.
Yeah, Heights kind of turned the wrong way on that.
Donovan Kong had his man open, but just unable to get it into his hands.
Well, the Patriots really dodged a bullet. Another touchdown for the Wildcats there could have been almost an icing. Yeah, just dodged a bullet. They sent a blitz, and Kong had to get rid of the ball, but he had his man open. Yeah, Height just turned the wrong way on that. He would have had a touchdown.
So the Patriots take over 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line, and now they come off of a very impressive drive, touchdown and 2-point conversion, and then a stop. And they would like nothing more than to go into the locker room following a drive that gets them back on the scoreboard for more.
Daniels caught behind, and right now it looks like Hoover's line's just getting overwhelmed right now, and Daniels playing both quarterback and free safety. Doesn't have too much downtime.
Daniels on the run.
He took another loss of, about 8 yards on that, Dan. And
a couple of big losses on back-to-back plays.
And he's got some speed on him. He just couldn't turn the corner on that.
So, too, do the perimeter defenders of the Sunnyside High Wildcats. And they are coming.
DeAndre Moorhead, he's got some height and he's got some speed on him, too. Does a good job sealing off that corner.
3rd down and 27. Jordan Daniels coming in after conferring with his coach. Justin Nash has to be a little bit careful because he's down to the 20-yard line, well out of the coaching box. Defenders drop back. Daniels up the middle. He's got 10 yards, still going. He's near the 1st down. He's got a 1st down and more. Daniels across the 45 before he is run out of bounds.
And after getting caught twice in the backfield for a total of 17 yards and losses, he was able to get a 1st down. And what a play.
Just pure scramble.
Broke 3 tackles.
Patriots now at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10. Wildcats. To the near side. And he's got another 1st down. They're going to mark that ball at the 42-yard line. He picked up 12 yards on that carry.
And he's all over the field, Dan.
Easy to say a one-man team, but it may be not a correct statement given the blocking that's going on ahead of him, given the work the receivers are doing, trying to create some spacing and giving him room to run. Daniels looking at his play sheet. Patriots trying to deal with a substitution situation, have to burn a timeout, and they're not going to be happy about that. That was Kewan Nutt, who had been, the minute the last play was done, signaling he wanted to come out. And as he trotted to the sideline, which is he's holding his hamstring, maybe cramping up a little bit, but as he was trotting over the sideline, he didn't see a substitution coming on for him, and Daniels was trying to get everybody to the line of scrimmage and get that play off. And it was after Nutt had turned to go back to his position that a substitute came onto the field, and Hoover had to burn a timeout to deal with that potential 12-man on the field situation. At least I don't think we were suddenly transported into Canada.
That would be a surprise.
Yeah. For those of you not familiar, Canadian football allows 12 men on.
Yeah, we were talking about on the way over here too, Coach Steinhauer there at Fresno State, who's come on and done a bang-up job as defensive coordinator. We're saying how difficult that would be to go from a large field with 12 men to a much smaller field with 11 men, and Hey, the
3 downs to 4. So many differences in the two games. Men in motion. Completely different games, and he's done a tremendous job.
Been successful so far. I'm happy with the result.
2 shutouts and a field goal allowed in 3 of their 7 games. A lot of teams that go through multiple seasons without a shutout.
You don't think of defense in Canadian football. You just don't think of that.
Very true. It's a wide open game. Enjoyed trips to Canada and the opportunity to see some in person, and it is a fun brand of football. Fast moving, very wide open. So they're going to measure. And it looks as though Jordan Daniels was about, what would you guess, a foot short?
A couple inches.
That will bring up a 2nd down and 1 for the Patriots, who have been a very different ball club since that change of quarterbacks following the injury to Vincent Andrews. And that is no slight on Vincent Andrews. Vincent Andrews was running a very balanced offense. He threw effectively to Big Joe Smith, his tight end. He was able to run effectively. Pearson ran the ball very, very well out of the backfield. But since that change, when Vincent Andrews went off with the injury, Jordan Daniels has simply been a running machine back there. They're blitzing. On the give, straight up the middle, down to the 20-yard line.
That was Cameron Bledsoe again, and we call his name quite a few times in the Fresno High game. He is able to get some good yards, and that was impressive.
Watch as they blitzed, and he found that A-gap, and away he went.
Yeah, got a nice hole made for him and chugged through, did the rest.
3 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom of the screen. Pearson, the lone back. They're going to throw the football. This is Taj Hart. He gets about a yard, maybe 2.
We're down under 2 minutes to go in the first half, and if the Patriots could get a score here, that could give them all kinds of momentum.
They need to get back up to the line here with a bit of a sense of urgency, and they're operating as if they don't know how much time is left here in the first half. They're in great field position with a golden opportunity, and they're letting precious seconds burn off this clock. Sunnyside calls a timeout. They had an injured player out there. It looks as though Gendre McDowell hobbled just a little bit, and he's coming off the field.
That really gave the Patriots a break there, too. And the coaching staff, you have to have somebody up here in the booth, somebody in charge of quality control. You should always know how much time is on the clock, how many timeouts you have. You have to have a sense of urgency. You've got less than a minute and a half to go, and you've got 1 timeout left. That you don't have a lot of margin for error. You've got to move quick. It's so easy to be critical when we're up here in the box, Dan.
A minute 28 to play in the first half. Patriots with a 2nd down and 9 from the 20-yard line, trailing 27-8. But boy, this would give them a huge lift if they could go in with another score. Following the injury to Vincent Andrews, once Jordan Daniels came in, he was able to drive them in for a very impressive score, a successful 2-point conversion, and then a stop. After trailing 27-0, they have now driven down to the 20-yard line with a minute 28 to play in the half. Players up to the line of scrimmage, but Justin Nash having a conference with the official on the far sideline, and he is very demonstrative in whatever point he is trying to make over there.
Very demonstrative. I like that.
The blitz is coming. Daniels evades it. He's got a receiver, Big Joe Smith, but he's going to keep it himself and goes out of bounds after a pickup of about 3 yards.
That was as good as timed blitz as you're going to see in high school football. I mean, he was at full speed crossing the line when the ball was snapped. And only Daniel's speed, you know, he saw that coming. He just brought the ball down. I got to get a little bit of space. He got out and he got a small gain out of that.
3rd down and 7, a big play for the Patriots, and I would suggest Big Joe Smith to the bottom of your screen is a guy that he's got to take a look at here. Over the middle. Pass is batted down.
I liked your idea on that play, Dan. Is you have somebody with a height advantage, get in the end zone, and get up. That really could have been a disaster. Play a little bit of
basketball. 4th and 7, a minute 16 to go. Hoover's going to try to tack 3 on and go for a field goal. Holder is going to set up at the 24-yard line. Talking about a 34-yard attempt by Daniel Hernandez. And it's blocked.
It's blocked.
McDowell with the block. Correction, Sherwin King with the block. And the Patriots' tremendous drive goes for naught as the Wildcats are able to hold and prevent Hoover from adding any more points to their tally on the board.
We'll see that on the replay, and it just took a little bit too long to develop, and you don't have the time to let that happen. I mean, it's got to be boom, boom, boom. And see, the ball was a little slow getting there. The ball was still moving when it's kicked. Those laces got to be pointed forward, and it's got to be done right now. That you don't have time for error, and it shows.
So the Wildcats take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Patriots showing blitz here. 1:11 to play, as you see there in the bottom right of your screen. Give goes to Hawkins. And he has run out of bounds at about the 40.
Yeah, back for that field goal. It's my very skilled opinion on this that even if the ball would not have been blocked, the ball was still moving. The laces were right by the foot. It was going to miss by a long shot.
Ball spotted with a nose on the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 4. 45 seconds remain in the first half. Sunnyside up 27-8. Give goes once again to Carl Hawkins, and he's got room to run. He's got a first down. He's got much, much more, about 10 yards more, before he is shoved out of bounds. Officials are going to mark this at the Hoover 41-yard line, 40-yard line. 31 seconds to play in the half.
The Wildcats, with just one timeout left, are in a decent position to get points on the board now. Well, down to 24 seconds. The clock continued to run.
Kong with the keeper up the middle. He's got a first down. Crosses the 30-yard line. That his Patriot player Gaze comes up hobbling on the field. That's Nico Vargas.
You know, Sunnyside called a timeout. The clock was still moving, and I'm in a quandary. The clock should have been stopped on the first down like that. There should have been a little bit more time put on the clock. In the previous play that I thought went out of bounds, the clock continued to move.
Officials doing a little bit of gesturing, asking about that very subject, how much time should be on the clock.
But in high school football, we don't have the advantage of the replay or anybody else up in the booth that can make any changes. They're not going to listen to us.
First and 10, ball resting on the 30-yard line. Sunnyside trying to put another batch of points on the scoreboard before going into the locker room at halftime. Already up 27-8 over the Hoover Patriots. Kong throwing for the end zone and overthrows McDowell. 3 seconds left in the first half.
And the Wildcats only have one more opportunity, so I think it's a pretty good idea. I hardly ever advocate a prevent defense. This is one of those times I probably would.
Last play of the first half. And Kong is going to be sacked. He shoveled the ball out of bounds, but time expires here as the first half of play here at Sunnyside Stadium comes to a conclusion. Wildcats sitting on top here at the break by a score of 27-8. They have been impressive throughout much of the first half. Hoover in the final stages of the second quarter, finally getting their offense on track and coming up with some big yardage. They punched in for a score, had a key hold, but were not able to get any more. So our score here at halftime, 27-8, and we're going to take a bit of a break here, and you're going to see some of the goings-on at CMAC and Sunnyside High School and projects involved here with CMAC Sports. Back with more in a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in learning, and with our homeroom program being as unique as it is, we're the only high school in Fresno that has a homeroom program. What we are saying is that we understand that relationships are important, that they need to be long-standing, and that every student needs to belong to something. And with homeroom, we know every student, if they're not involved in a sport or a club, they're all in a homeroom, so it's foundational.
The benefits of homeroom is that the students will stay with that one teacher over the next 4 years while they're here at Sunnyside. They will get to know the students in their classroom and get to know the teacher, so that they have that one place that they can go to that could be kind of like their home. You can build a sense of community, a sense of family within the classroom, and connect with not only the students in the classroom, but have that connection with a staff member on our campus.
Everybody, welcome back to Sunnyside Stadium. Dan Taylor with the coach, Fred Clark. Our score here at halftime, 27-8. The Sunnyside High Wildcats on top of the Hoover High Patriots. And interesting first half, to say the least.
Well, it's a little bit of a surprise, Dan. It's 27-8, but Hoover had that one big mistake where they had that fumble that was running for a touchdown. You take that away, and we still have a relatively close game. I've been impressed with the way that Hoover's hung a little bit tougher than I really thought they would at this point. That one turnover was disastrous, but they held down a lot of things that have really shot them in the foot as the seasons went on this year. Costly penalties and turnovers. And Sunnyside hasn't really gotten into the swing of things. They've had a lot of opportunities to add to this score, and they're not playing with their usual, go for the throat mentality. They're just a little bit off tonight.
Special teams have been huge for Sunnyside. A couple of very long punt returns, one for a touchdown for them. Hoover, on the other hand, they lost Vincent Andrews, their quarterback. You were indicating an ankle injury.
Yeah, they told me his ankle was injured, but they don't think it's severe. It's going to keep him out for the rest of the night, but it doesn't appear to be broken. But sometimes those high ankle sprains take a long time to heal, and we can only wish him the best. He was showing some real good signs there tonight.
Well, Jordan Daniels came in as the quarterback there the second quarter after the injury. It was a totally different look. He was running the football very effectively, some big gains. Certainly the touchdown, the extra point, the 2-point conversion, getting him on the board. But then another big drive and a couple of incomplete passes kept him from adding to that. And, of course, a big penalty. And the Wildcats were able to go to the locker room and with a 27-8 score. Two teams back out onto the field as we prepare for the second half kickoff.
With the Wildcats up, we were really criticizing them and all of this, and how is it you're ahead by 3 touchdowns and you haven't really played your best game yet by a long shot, and you're still up by 3 touchdowns? I don't think the Wildcats have a heck of a lot to worry about tonight.
Homecoming fun here at Sunnyside Stadium. The students just having crowned the homecoming queen and king. And the homecoming king also wears number 3 in the blue and yellow. That's Kendra McDowell, the Wildcats wide receiver defensive back who was crowned homecoming king during the halftime festivities. As the Patriots, Daniel Hernandez will kick it off to get the second half going here. Could be a big night for the Wildcats. They win, Reedley loses, and Sunnyside is crowned the North Yosemite League champion with a week to play, and those two teams scheduled to meet next week. They would love nothing more than to have that be a big game next week, but the drama could be removed depending upon what happens in the two stadiums tonight.
There's Hernandez's pooch kick.
Your favorite, right? You love those pooch kicks, don't you? Oh, the return man swings it out of and he could go all the way here. Now at the 30, he's in the clear. Runs past Hernandez. Cameron Irvin, I believe it was. Or was that Devon Jones? Devon Jones with a touchdown to start the second half.
And Devon Jones really made his use. We'll see it right here. You know, found a little seam, right? Broke the tackle and saw it right there. And just watch him accelerate right there, because a couple of guys looked like they had a shot at him, and he really shoved it into overdrive and outran everybody. That was a patient kickoff return.
Second special teams touchdown tonight by the Wildcats as they go for two and they succeed. So 35-8 our score, as we are only 16 seconds into the second half here at Sunnyside Stadium. Donovan Tong to a very wide open Braun Heights there for the two-point conversion.
That's the Sunnyside that we're used to. I mean, this is a, lightning striking team.
So the Patriots, who've endured a frustrating season, they came in 1-7, really hoping just to create some small victories, to develop building blocks, put some things in place to have more success next season. And in the second quarter, we saw some good things happen that made you wonder if this could be a night where they play spoiler. But to open the second half, well, that terrific return really takes the wind out of Hoover's sails.
Well, the way that second half started, that opportunity to be a spoiler is pretty much down the tubes now. The Patriots now could just go one play at a time, try and get a little bit better. You know, don't try and get it all at once, and that could be a big problem right there.
Well, the short kick is fielded at the 44-yard line, and that's where Hoover will begin their first possession of the second half.
The Patriots were extremely fortunate on that, Dan. Thought for a moment the Wildcats may have picked up that. It wasn't really an onside kick, it was just a squibber.
So Jordan Daniels coming out at quarterback to start the second half of the Patriots, and as we mentioned earlier, he stepped into the position following the injury to Vincent Andrews early in the second quarter. Able to run the football very effectively and make some things happen. That's Pearson takes the fake. Daniels on the keeper, and he picks up 6 yards right to midfield.
And I think, Dan, the Patriots got off their game plan a little bit, but they've been able to adjust on the fly pretty well. Sometimes you'll find this happening.
As well as he has been able to run the football, you wonder about the Hoover passing game. I know it's not been overall effective throughout the season. And here we go. Flush from the pocket, comes to the near side. He's got a first down and then some. Across the 35. Out of bounds inside the 30 at about the 29.
Yeah, Daniels put a lot of yardage on the ground now, and Sunnyside's got to know he's going to be keeping the ball in his hands most of the time, because I don't think a lot of these plays are drawn up. They're just happening right now. Daniels is doing what he has to do to survive and try and make plays. And as long as his offensive line, if they could just hit somebody, hold their block for a second or two, it'll give him the opportunity.
Well, on the snap, that was a pass play, and he brought it down, and off he went, and really made a lot out of nothing. High snap. And again, he's trying to run from danger, gets out of bounds after a pickup of about 4 yards. And there again, you had 3 Sunnyside defenders. Looked like they had him closed down.
He's got some acceleration. The Sunnyside had really good penetration on that play.
Second down and 6 from the 29-yard line. Patriots on the march. This is just what they have been doing ever since Jordan Daniels stepped in at quarterback. Daniels looking to throw. Jump ball situation is picked off at the 7-yard line.
Got a couple of good blocks, was able to put about 20 yards on that return, and was able to come. I mean, it looked like Hart had an opportunity, and Ruffin was just able to get in front and bring it down, and was patient, had a couple of good blocks on the return, and Sunnyside's in business again. The ball is just a little bit underthrown, as we've seen. That was not Ruffin at all.
That was Ron Heights again.
That was a nice interception. He really concentrated on that.
Kong with the give. This is the young, talented sophomore Carl Hawkins. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere. Good penetration by the Hoover line.
They have lost a couple of yards actually there, Fred. Just inside 10 minutes now into the third quarter here at Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us on CMAX Sports as the host Wildcats sit on top by a 35-8 score.
Todd Hart, who was kind of the victim of that interception, came in from linebacker and was chief in making that stop.
Kong looking to go up top, airs it out, overthrows his man by a good 10-12 yards. So fourth down, and we're going to see the punting unit come on for the Wildcats. A rarity tonight.
I don't think that last pass is how it was designed in the playbook, Dan.
Patriots getting a stop, second time. And generally what we see, Fred, is the Sunnyside punters doing it Aussie rules style, where they'll usually take off running to their right and then give it a good boot. And the minute I say that, it doesn't happen.
Well, he had some pressure on him and was unable to get off much of a kick. Went off the side of his foot, and it's going to be a punt of, less than 10 yards.
Marquez Williams doing the punting, and Hoover High is going to take over at the Sunnyside 43-yard line.
Very good field position for the Patriots. And Jordan Daniels was the man back to field that punt. He just didn't get a chance to do it. That young man does not get off the
Been
field.
doing just about everything tonight. Some big tackles in the secondary, and of course all that work he's been doing since the middle of the second quarter at quarterback. Pearson, the lone back. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Daniels once again evades a big rush and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. And we're going to have a couple of penalty flags fly. Looks, Fred, as though we've got a late hit.
Yeah, that was, without doubt, he was already out of bounds. He got a big shove.
Looks as though Cameron Irvin, the guilty party there, giving Jordan Daniels a bit of a shove.
The result of the penalty is going to be a first down.
As you see the call made.
Yeah, he was already stopped for a loss. That was an unnecessary play. If that's the course that they called.
Out of bounds on the defense.
I don't know how that could have
15
went
yards,
the other
result
way.
of the penalty, first down.
So the personal foul call going to give the Patriots a first down and push the ball down toward the 29-yard line.
We did talk to the referee, Chris Cogan, at the half, and he assured me that he would be a little bit more demonstrative with his calls. The ones that we had questioned that Dan and I hadn't seen, he insisted that those were holding penalties. So we'll take his word for it.
Interesting positioning.
Yeah.
First and 10 from the 28 for the Patriots. Daniels going up top. He's got a man at the 5. Kiwan Nutt pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Kiwan Nutt really concentrated, bought that one in. Daniels had the time.
Well, the offensive line did a terrific job of giving Daniels good protection there.
Nutt just looked that one in all the way.
McDowell wrestling him out of bounds. So the Patriots first and goal from the 3, trailing 35-8. Fumbled snap.
Daniels is able to cover it up back about the 13-yard line. Big loss.
Well, you get a gift in possession at the 3-yard line, and to have it botched on the very next play has got to be a coach's nightmare.
There's been several of those that are going to just keep Coach Nast up late when he watches the film of this game.
If he
Special
doesn't burn it
teams.
first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pearson alone back in the backfield next to Daniels. Daniels on the scamper. Ridden out of bounds.
Got about 8 yards to that back, Dan.
He continues to make plenty out of nothing.
Yeah, he
Brings
had
up
company
3rd down.
right here, and he was just able to keep spreading it out.
3rd down, and it looks as though the nose of the football rests on the 5-yard line. High snap. Daniels pulls it down, takes off, and he is swarmed at about the 6.
There were 10 Wildcats within a few yards of him over there. They knew it was coming. You know, Daniels was still able to get a couple of yards. They're marking that down just outside the 1-yard line.
And a timeout taken by Sunnyside. Not a single member of the Hoover High kicking team coming out onto the field on 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like it was stopped, and he just kept trying to fight it, and he's still moving.
And getting help from 3 teammates at that.
Yeah, that was a push-pull.
So with their score 35-8, the Wildcats take a timeout to get their defense set. The Patriots mulling over play calling options on their sideline.
Well, there is no way Coach Woods can blend in tonight, is there?
High probability that the play's going to just be Jordan Daniels running the football.
Well, a touchdown here, we're not going to say it's really going to get the Patriots back in the game, but it's still a small victory. If they can score now.
So Daniels brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Nobody in the backfield with him. Receivers trying to spread that defense out. 4th and goal from the 3. Daniels cuts back up and dances into the end zone for a touchdown.
Right to the left side of the field where there was a path of least resistance, and he used his speed to accelerate in. Nice momentum builder for the Patriots. You see their offensive line there. Gunned up a little bit there.
Did a nice job on that one. And the Patriots are going to go for 2 here. Daniels back out onto the field.
May as well. They're going to have to hurry it up a little bit, though. They're in danger of taking a little bit, taking a delay a game if they don't get that ball snapped relatively quickly.
Bledsoe, the fullback, alongside Daniels in the backfield. Daniels going into the far corner,
Smith
and it is
it
complete
down
for a 2-point conversion.
And Dan, that's the play you were talking about the last half. Get that ball up high and just let Smith out-jump everybody if you can. It's going to go out of the end zone.
They have 2 very tall receivers, Smith being one of them. And they took advantage of the mismatch out there.
Just
terrific grab, hauled in with one hand.
Yep. Yeah, he had to elevate to get it, and that's what he did.
So it makes our score 35-16 now. Hoover with their second touchdown of the night and second two-point conversion as the Patriots continue to look impressive on offense since the midway point of the second quarter.
And this looks like a completely different Patriot team that we saw 2 weeks ago. They're having a little bit of, bouncing them over on the sidelines and electrified them a little bit when they got that touchdown. It's good to see.
Hernandez to kick off.
And Dan, I'm kicking the ball short. Those return men are capable of doing a lot of damage. Don't give them the opportunity.
We have seen, particularly the punt team, but the last kickoff be very damaging to the Patriots tonight. Short kick down at the 41-yard line where Sunnyside will begin their next possession as they sit on a 35-16 lead with 7 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the third quarter.
That pooch kick gives the Wildcats only 60 yards to the end zone. Those really shorten the field out. I need to clarify myself. When I wanted a short kick, I wanted a short kick on the ground. I didn't want a pooch kick.
I was going to say, you've made it very clear throughout the season that the pooch kick is not anything that you're enamored with. And so
it does get a little monotonous, doesn't it?
An injured Hoover player slow to leave the field as the officials holding up play here. And now they're going to get things going. Donovan Kong from the pistol gives to Carl Hawkins to the far side. Picks up a couple before being run out of bounds. Fred, have you noticed any changes in the Hoover defensive strategy thus far?
Well, they seem to be crowding the box a little bit more and going more to a man situation, stopping the run. And so far, it's been pretty successful. The Wildcats have dropped several passes that probably shouldn't have happened.
Kong with a quick one over the middle. Whizzes right by his receiver, incomplete.
They get a little bit of pressure on Kong, which they weren't doing earlier in the game.
Brings up a 3rd and 9. Big play for both these teams. Patriots trying to get a third consecutive stop defensively. And the Wildcats would like to change that trend. Kong on the run. Fires. He's got a man at the 42. Heights makes the catch. And a big first down for the Wildcats.
And Height made a move, and he was just camped. It was about a 20-yard gain, and he was right where he was supposed to be. Kong was under a little bit of pressure, as we see. The ball was his high snap. Rolls to his right. And Height was waiting for it. He was all alone over there.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line. Patriots have got this place snuffed out. And a big loss back to the 45 of the Wildcats. And something was said by the player to the official, and a penalty flag came out immediately.
And that was Devon Jones, and after that long loss, they're going to tack 15 yards on top of it. He's coming off the field.
Where the hell did
and
he go?
Our single coach is speaking to it.
That was Jones' second big loss. He tried to make something happen and kept going backwards, and it cost him.
So the ball is marched back to the 30-yard line on the penalty.
They have to go all the way down to the
second down.
Looks like the 32 of Hoover for a first down, so it's second and 29 yards to go.
So something Jones said caused 15 yards to be marched off against Sunnyside High.
Yeah, that flag didn't take any time at all to come out.
3rd and 29. Kong firing, overthrowing it.
Yeah, that had no chance of a completion, Dan.
Still 3rd and 29 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kong had a lot of air under the ball. He threw that a long ways. Just not a catchable pass.
Plenty of enthusiasm, plenty of excitement here at Sunnyside Stadium on homecoming. Student body filling the section here on the north side of the stadium. Great turnout by the Sunnyside students for what could be a big, big night for their Wildcats. A win here, a loss down in Reedley by the host Pirates, and Sunnyside High would lock up the North Yosemite League Championship. Right now, they've got a long way to go for that and a long way to go for a first down. It is 3rd and 29 from the Sunnyside 30.
Well, with a 3rd down and 29 yards to go, Dan, I somewhat like Hoover's chances to get the ball back. And if they can put some points on the board, who knows? Well, we do, but, you know, you have to try and keep things optimistic.
The difficulty with Hoover is that they've been churning up the yards on the ground, and that doesn't help make the clock your 12th man.
Very true.
I mean, they're going to need 3 more possessions, successful possessions. That means successful stops and then successful offensive possessions. And that's challenging when you're running the football and the clock continues to run.
That's beyond challenging. That's a steep hill to climb.
So 3rd down and 29. Donovan Kong with a snap. Looking for a receiver. He's got one wide open down the middle of the field. And that was Devon Jones, who was brought down and about 6 yards short of the first down.
Well, it depends where you and I saw him initially make contact with the ground. The officials are giving him a few yards more. Let's see this again, Dan. Let's see where it was marked down. We can't tell by this angle. That was he's bought back down by Daniels.
It's going to be a 4th and 2, and they're spotting the ball at the Hoover 33-yard line.
Very favorable spot for the Wildcats.
It is somewhat of a Wildcat formation here with Carl Hawkins. No, Donovan Kong is under center. And the give goes to Carl Hawkins. Bursts off right tackle and picks up a first down.
And when we talk about coaches being frustrated, when you have a team 3rd and 29 and they get a first down, that is very frustrating.
To say it mildly.
Yeah, I don't think Woody Hayes or Bo Schembechler would have handled that too well.
No. I don't think we would have used that term to describe their reaction.
Yes.
So first down. Patriots in the backfield an instant after the handoff. Stopped that play before it ever got going. Hawkins wrestled down. Loss of 2 yards on the play.
Well, some of Hoover's linebackers, Patton, Perea, Hart, they've been in on a lot of plays.
Kong, wide open receiver. Still trying to get over that first down yard marker.
That was DeAndre Moorhead, Dan, and we've seen him play on defense. And
that's a first down.
Once he caught the ball, he was well short of the first down, and he made that happen. Tough run.
Big play. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Kong under pressure. He's got a man at the 2. He's in the end zone for a touchdown.
That was McDowell.
The homecoming king, DeAndre McDowell, hauling in the touchdown pass.
Big night for McDowell, and you know
the point tally to 41 with 3 minutes left in the quarter.
We'll see Kong faked like he was going to roll to his left. And he threw that effortlessly. It was like, boom.
So they begin in the swinging gate formation as if they're going to go for 2, and then they shift back, and they will attempt a single extra point. Not before penalty flags are thrown. And that's one of the issues, Fred, when you get into some of the fancy formations, is a delay of game situation.
Yep.
Kick is up and good. And adds to Sunnyside's lead as they're now sitting on a 42-16 advantage over the Hoover Patriots.
Well, both teams have scored. Wildcats' second touchdown in the second half. Hoover will have another opportunity. It's unusual, Dan. Sunnyside's band has disappeared. I didn't even notice it after the halftime show.
A lot of band reviews going on throughout the fall, up and down the valley and up and down the state. A lot of times if you don't see a band stick around for the second half, it's because they've got an early morning bus call and they're heading somewhere for a band review on a Saturday.
And do they have bed checks? Do they have, I don't know. I never thought about that till right now. I drove by Fresno State last Saturday. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and there's probably 40 bands out there just in the tailgate area. So, wow. I thought they just maybe had, I didn't know that was a big thing. I thought maybe they'd have.
Very big thing. You bet. The Selma Band Review is just renowned throughout the state. A couple of Patriots collide trying to field that short kickoff, and ball is down at the 35-yard line where Hoover will begin their next possession. Patriots trailing 42-16 here with 3:02 to play in the third quarter from Sunnyside Stadium.
Anthony Molina caught that ball here on the replay, and I don't think he was expecting any company, and Christopher Perea was right behind him trying to make sure that the ball was secured.
Reminds me of an old baseball story.
Let's hear it.
Expansion New York Mets, terrible ball club.
Was that the team that won 40 games?
Something like that, yeah. They had a Spanish-speaking outfielder and Richie Ashburn in center field, and on a couple of balls they collided. And somebody told Ashburn that he needed to learn how to say "I've got it" in Spanish. So they practiced that he learned the word "Yo la tengo," and he gets a fly ball, and the Spanish-speaking right fielder comes in his direction, and Ashburn hollers Yo la tengo, and he gets hit by the non-Spanish-speaking left fielder.
Okay. That was Richie Ashburn?
The great Richie Ashburn finished his career with the expansion Mets.
Wow, what a way to end it, huh?
That's what happens when you have a football game and a 26-point advantage. He airs it out. Can he get it to his man? And it is deflected. That was Taj Hart who was running down the field. And the third time tonight, a big pass play is deflected by the Sunnyside defenders. And they've got a lot of speed. They've got a lot of cover ability and a lot of closing skill in that Sunnyside defensive backfield.
Yeah, it looked like Ruffin had a beat on the interception, and when Hart ran by him, it messed his timing up a little bit.
Third down and 5 from the 41 for the Patriots. 42-16 our score, just over 2 minutes to play here. Coming to the near side. Goes to the big tight end, and he may be a few inches short of the first down. It's Joe Smith, but they're going to give him a nice spot. They'll lay that football right on the Hoover 45-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, he got the advantage of the spot on that. I thought he was about a yard short.
Hagan in the slot. Smith to the near side. Quick one out to Hagan. He's got some room to run. He's up near a first down.
I'm going to give the Zeebs benefit of the doubt on that, though, because they have been running up and down the field.
Pickup of 9. Oh, they're going to give him 8. They're going to spot it at the 47-yard line. So a pickup of 8 yards for the Patriots. That was Ricky Hagan on the reception. Daniels over the middle. Intercepted. Sam Maldonado with the pick.
Yeah, Maldonado was able to pick the pass off.
By an interception. And the Sunnyside Wildcats take over.
When he was waiting for a block, he just delayed for a little bit. His foot went out from underneath him. And we have a Patriot lineman down. That's Isaiah Scales Edwards is down, and it looks like he may have had an ankle injury. He's getting to his feet. He's limping a bit.
So the injured Patriot headed off the field. Big blow to the Patriots' offensive effort there, the interception.
Isaiah Scales Edwards, he's been playing both ways for the Patriots. They don't have a lot of depth on their lines.
About a minute and a half remaining here in the third quarter from Sunnyside Stadium on this homecoming night for the Sunnyside High Wildcats. First and 10 Wildcats from the Hoover 48-yard line. Donovan Kong, the quarterback. Carl Hawkins, the sophomore, alongside in the backfield. Kong fires. He's got his man wide open at the 37-yard line. Marquez Williams, he's been a terror tonight for the Hoover secondary.
And Kenyon Beta made a tackle there. It didn't look like a huge deal at the time. He doesn't make that tackle, and Williams may have been able to accelerate to the outside and take that to the end zone. Because he was just really picking up speed when Beta was able to bring him down.
First and 10 from the 37. Fumble snap. Hawkins just dives on it and gathers it in to prevent any further damage.
Heads up play by Hawkins instead of picking it up, trying to make something happen. It could have got a lot worse. Boy, both teams were really stacked at the line of scrimmage on that, Dan. Hoover had 8 men right on the line, or right behind it in reinforcement.
So they lose 4 on the play, back to the 42-yard line.
We have the same thing. Sunnyside looks like they're running a double tight. Hoover's got, again, 8 men up there close.
Kong gets rid of it. Overthrows Williams. Bit surprised with a 26-point lead. They're continuing to throw the ball.
That's what Sunnyside does. And we talked about this a little bit later. They're not trying to run up the score. That's just what they do. And I don't even know who their backup quarterback is. I don't want to see one on the roster. But, you wonder at what point that you're going to bring some of your subs in, because with the playoffs looming, you do not want to have a catastrophic injury right now.
25 seconds left here in the third quarter. 3rd and 14 from the 42. Kong fakes to Hawkins. Over the middle. Overthrows his man. And again, that was intended for Marquez Williams.
And Williams really had to go out and try and get that too. The quarterback put him in a position to really take a hit. And not knowing who Sunnyside's backup is, I just think it's kind of, general knowledge at this level. You've got the game well in hand, and you look at people that are going to help you down the road too. You want to get some snaps. You have a junior or sophomore quarterback. Get him some snaps in a game situation, build his confidence up. But that's just me.
So the Wildcats in punt formation. Jordan Daniels deep to receive the punt for the Patriots, and a timeout is called.
That's Wildcats' last time out of the half. I don't really think they're going to need it, later on, so may as well.
So the two teams gather up around their coaching staffs for instructions here. 20 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. The host Wildcats sitting at a 42-16 lead. I'm Dan Taylor, with me Fred Clark. Had a lot of fun bringing you high school football throughout the season here on CMAC Sports. We're in week 9 of the 10-week Central Valley High School football regular season. Playoffs, of course, just on the horizon. And a lot of what Sunnyside High is doing is actually in preparation for the postseason. Gordon Wood talks about every week as a teaching opportunity. Their non-conference schedule, he dots with the Division I schools, Sunnyside in Division II. Of course, Division III San Joaquin Memorial was on the schedule about 3 weeks ago, and they're a very strong team this year. So the lumps that Sunnyside has taken have come in those 3 non-league games. Central High, Clovis North, they lost by a point, and then they lost to San Joaquin Memorial. Their 5 victories coming against fellow Division II foes. Once in the North Yosemite League, they have won all 3 games, and looking, if not tonight, then tomorrow, or next week I should say, in Reedley, having the opportunity to clinch the North Yosemite League title.
And Dan, one of the things last season, Sunnyside, I think they finished the season they were 8-2 in league, and then the first game of the playoffs, they went down to Tulare and utterly shocked the then Redskins, and now I think they're the Tribe, and they won that game going away. And Tulare this year is just a offensive juggernaut, and that game gave Sunnyside a lot of confidence. But then the next week they got spanked at Sanger.
Bill Gordon Wood has said the reason he does the plays the non-conference schedule he does is to prepare his players for the postseason.
That's what you got to do.
Take one more look at this. Is Pearson, who's been able to get a couple of impressive runs getting around the far corner. Not able to do it this time as he is flung out of bounds.
And that is the last play of the 3rd quarter, Dan.
That wraps up the 3rd quarter, Fred. 1 quarter left to play tonight. And Sunnyside High sits on a 42-16 lead. And Fred, I know at halftime you went down and had a lot of conversation with officials and coaches. Did you get any explanation for Gordon Wood's pants?
I didn't catch that.
You went down at halftime and had conversation with the officials and a few coaches about a few things, getting some updates. Did you get any explanation for Gordon Wood's pants?
I did not, and I should have asked one of the officials about that, if any of them said anything to him. 'Cause I know during the week he and I will have a conversation, and it's not going to be about winning the NYL or about the playoffs. It's going to be those checkered pants that he's wearing.
You know, I have to confess that when we saw that penalty call in the first half, and it wasn't grabbing the wrist out in front of the official's face, as a normal holding call is. This was the hand in a fist back over the shoulder, and it was grabbed. And for a fleeting moment, I wondered if Gordon Wood was being flagged for bad wardrobe.
Yeah, well, I think I would have given him 15 before the first kickoff on that.
So the Patriots take over with the ball 2nd and 6 from the 15-yard line. That's the big fullback, Cameron Bledsoe.
And we've talked about, Hoover not being an untalented team at all, and Bledsoe's another one. I've seen him make some good plays this season, and the Patriots are just in one of these positions. It's not a lack of talent. They just have to get it together. I know they've got, I believe, 14 players that are going to be returning next season that start now, and that's a good building block if Coach Nast is still here next season, and I hope to see him.
Throw is incomplete. There's Ricky Hagan there in front of the Sunnyside bench, the intended receiver. So 4th down brings on the punting unit.
And this is always, well, not always, this is the last few weeks been real interesting when the...
Well, twice tonight, once for a touchdown, once for a long gain.
Yeah.
That Sunnyside punt return unit has been electrifying. The deep man, number 9, Heights. He's taken one to the house already tonight. Sets up at the 44-yard line. Hernandez doesn't want to give him any opportunity. Fielded way back at the Sunnyside 45, trying to evade 3 pursuers. And he's got some room and he's got some blockers. To the near side, to the 50, to the 45. He could go again. Cuts back. Ron Heights with his 2nd punt return for a touchdown on the night. And 55 yards.
And Dan, the Patriots gunners are not getting any separation at the line of scrimmage. They cannot get down there. And, Heights is just, you look at this again. And one guy, and having to go back and get the ball gave him a little bit of momentum so he could juke the guy out that was coming at more speed. Once he got past Beta, nobody was going to get him. That was the one opportunity there. And he got a couple of real good blocks. Wow. Another one right there. Bam.
Did a nice job of letting the blockers get into position for him, not outrunning that coverage.
And Alexis Torres, he came back quite a ways and almost made he did make the tackle. It was already in the end zone. And was there a clip that I missed? I didn't see a flag.
I didn't see a single penalty flag. Points are taken off the board. Ball is being set at the 45-yard line.
Yeah. I saw a play that, if I really used my imagination, I may have been able to call a clip on, but I wouldn't have.
Call. Complete down to the 22-yard line. That's Jones.
That's going to be a penalty on the Patriots. After the whistle had blown, there was contact. A player came in and made a nice hit well after the whistle, so this will add 15 to it.
Foul. Targeting on the defense. Half the distance. 1st down.
So there you see to call a personal foul. That'll have 15 more yards marched off against the Patriots. Donovan Kong with all sorts of time there in the pocket. Does a nice job hitting Jones at the 25-yard line.
Then we're going to see the whistle's blown right about now, and now we'll see somebody come in right now. And make that hit. That cost him 15.
First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Kong flinging it for the end zone, incomplete. Jones, the intended receiver.
Patriot defensive backfield did a pretty good job on that.
So second down 10 from the 11.
Ball's on the ground.
Patriots signaling that they recovered that loose football. And the officials, see no signal from the officials yet.
We still haven't gotten a signal from the officials. Well,
so Sunnyside retains possession.
Whatever that was, Sunnyside appears to have lost 5 yards, and they still have the football.
And the official across the way having a talk with Justin Nash, the Hoover High head coach, trying to explain their call.
Did we have a replay on that I missed?
I have not seen it. Very curious the outcome of that, because the Patriots came up out of that pile indicating they had the football, and certainly one of the Patriots did have the football once they pulled everybody off.
Okay, they're still calling this second down, so what I'm guessing is Sunnyside was assessed a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure. That's all I can come up with. It's still second down.
Give goes to King. Stacked up at about the 7-yard line.
Game's getting a little rough there in the line.
It's getting a little chippy out there.
We have a timeout on the field. Officials timeout.
Looks as though they want to bring the captains together and have a little conversation about some of the activity going on there in the trenches. Maybe using a few more words than you or I would use to simply say, knock it off.
Yeah. Clean things up, or we're going to have to start having some injections.
Wildcats coming up at the line. Actually, they're going to be in the pistol formation. 3rd and 7. Kong wants to throw. Touchdown, back of the end zone.
And he threaded a needle on that. He threw it into not a total crowd, but the only man that he could hit for that play to work was the man that he hit.
Heights the receiver. His 3rd touchdown of the night.
Right there.
Then again back into that swinging gate formation before breaking off into the PAT formation. Jose Ortiz trying to thread the uprights, and he does to make it 49-16 Wildcats.
It looked like Hoover may have jumped off sides there, but at this point the officials just pretty much let that one go.
So we've got 9:08 to play in this game. The Sunnyside High Wildcats marching toward a North Yosemite League title. No word on what's been going on down in Reedley in that game between the Pirates and the Fresno High Warriors. The Fresno High win and a Sunnyside victory here would hand the North Yosemite League title trophy to the Sunnyside Wildcats.
Is that touchdown again, Dan? And just threaded 2 Hoover defenders.
What a big night for young Mr. Heights. The returns, receptions, the runs. Very impressive night for him. Well, the Patriots had some momentum going there at the end of the half, and then at the start of the second half, and things have just spiraled out of control for them.
Well, just that special teams play, Dan, is just really, really difficult. You know you have to punt the ball away, and then bad things have happened every time they did.
Onside kick. Patriots gather it up at the 49-yard line, where they will start their next possession. But you're right, Fred. You hear it talked about so much in football. So many fans will talk about all this and that about the offense or this and that about the defense. And then the one unit that the importance does not get amplified is the special teams unit. On a night where your offense may be struggling to get things going, or a night where your defense may be having a little bit of difficulty getting things going, special teams can make a huge, huge boost.
And both ways, it's been a huge boost for the Wildcats and for the Patriots. Just been a absolute disaster. I mean, special teams is by far the weakest facet of anything that they have on that team, and it's not even close.
Daniels going up top. He's got a receiver. Unable to hold that one in.
It was Ricky Hagan, and he did have a little bit of room, just wasn't able to bring it down.
Hagan's been a target here in the second half. And Daniels have been trying to hook up. Three receivers to the top of your screen. Daniels fakes the handoff. Off he goes to the far sideline, and he's out near the first down marker.
And that's going to be close. It looks like he's got first down yardage, and Daniels just keeps on going. As he's taking some hits tonight, Danny's delivered some hits, and if he was an older guy, he'd be in the ice tub all day tomorrow.
No denying that. You're absolutely right. He's been impressive tonight. First and 10 from the 39. Daniels. Overthrow. Oh, he's got a man. And a wide open receiver at that. That is Hart for the touchdown.
That was Kawan Nunn, and Sunnyside just had another big breakdown in the backfield.
It was Kawan Nunn, you're right. He was wide open. I was looking at the up man. I thought that was the intended receiver. Sailed over his head, and I thought it was an incomplete pass, and it winds up in Nutt's hands for the touchdown.
And I thought that Daniels just about to be brought down in the backfield when he unloaded that too.
So the Patriots with their third score, they're going to go for two, try to add to it. Daniels into the end zone for the 2 points, and it's a 49-24 score.
This is something we don't see too often either, a team getting 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. I mean, it happens. It doesn't happen often.
Not very often. You're right. You're right.
And it looked like Daniels would be stopped, and he just cut inside. We'll see this again. Oh, that's going to be the touchdown again. Yeah, he was all alone. He was camped waiting for that.
So the Patriots with their third score of the night, their third 2-point conversion of the night as well, with 24 on the board to Sunnyside's 49. As there's 8 minutes and 16 seconds to play here from Sunnyside Stadium on this homecoming night at Sunnyside High School.
And I like the way the Patriot kickoff team ran onto the field. I mean, they came onto the field with a sense of purpose. We will see how much success that turns into.
Well, there was a situation there where Sunnyside was attempting to work on their onside kick. And
This is definitely the time to do it.
The position they gave up to practice something under game-like conditions didn't work out. Even though they had the enormous lead, it still ultimately turned into a Hoover High touchdown. Patriots going to come back with their own attempt at an onside kick, covered up at the 46-yard line by the Wildcats. And will this backfire on the Patriots?
Well, gives the Wildcats 54 yards to go. They have 8 minutes and 12 seconds to do it.
So the Wildcats offense back out onto the field after a short breather. First and 10 from the 46-yard line.
And we have a quarterback change. Kong's off the field.
So there's your answer. It's like Marquet Williams quarterbacking his team now. Indeed it is.
Well, Marquet Williams, only a junior. I applaud this decision.
Pickup of 7 on that play. Brings up a second down and 3. We'll move it into Hoover High territory. Williams scrambling. Hauled down for a loss. Patriots pull him down for about a 3-yard loss.
Yes, a lot of the Sunnyside starters over on the sidelines right now.
Third down and 5. Williams fires, complete. McDowell brought down at the 35-yard line.
Williams zipped that pass in nice, Dan.
Well, he did.
He had a lot of velocity on that. Had some good protection from his line. We'll see this again.
Terrific grab by McDowell on that play.
Caught it. Moved out to the right. Cut in. Got about 4 more yards.
Give to Hawkins to the near side. No, it's not Hawkins. Jacob Oliveras.
Well, we had 333s. That's not bad. I think that was Sergio Muniz.
Ah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was kind of an adventure with our game time roster tonight, Dan. We had to make a few adjustments on the fly. We have a timeout on the field.
And the Patriots take a timeout with 5 minutes, 59 seconds to play. And a second down and 3 situation. Patriots want to talk things over. And a good opportunity for Gordon Wood and his staff to pull the young substitutes over and make sure that they're in the right groupings, right formation.
And Hoover's the same. The coaching staff over there is trying to extort those players to, another big effort here on defense. We get the ball back, make this a little bit more respectable. Still, just what a nice night for football. We've been really lucky, and even looking at the weather for next week, it's going to cool off a little bit. But it looks like we've got through the entire season without a game we've had to put a jacket on yet.
You know what you just did, Fred. You know what you did.
It's going to pour rain next Friday night and be cold.
Every playoff game you go to is either going to be fogged in or rain.
Yeah, we've had a few of those.
Absolutely.
But heck, making it through the regular season like this, it's all good.
Williams close to the first down marker. But
close to first down yardage. I think he's going to be just a bit short.
Looks like it. Kong goes back into the game as Williams and McDowell limp off. Kong with a keeper, and he's got the first down.
And he's coming back off, it would appear, and Williams is coming back. Just put Kong in for the first down.
Inside of 5 minutes to play in this game. Wildcats just working that clock down.
Hoover bringing a couple of clean uniforms in.
Williams on the scamper, picks up about 6.
And that's what I'd like to call a real active run by Williams. He went in about 3 different directions and he didn't break stride at all. That's quite an athlete that can do that.
You know, you may have come up with new terminology instead of subs or reserves, the clean uniform squad.
Yeah,
remember that one.
Sounds better.
I think you got to trademark it, Fred.
I'm getting too old now. I don't think I'll reap the bucks on that.
Paperwork. Hector on the carry. Did a great job keeping the legs churning, trying to pick up an extra yard or 2. 3rd down and 3, ball resting on the 16-yard line. Patriots trying to keep the Wildcats out of the end zone. They're already sitting at a 25-point lead. Give goes to Williams. To the near side, cuts up and in for the touchdown.
And Joe's caught the ball on that handoff and he was untouched all the way around.
Marquez Williams finds the end zone with relative ease.
3 minutes, 17 seconds left in the game, and Sunnyside has climbed over 50. Certainly not unknown to them to do.
2 weeks ago, scored 58 on McLean. Last week, 40 on Fresno High. So this offense can put them on the board, as they have done tonight. Not just the offense, but the special teams.
Good job by the holder. That ball didn't come right to him, and he got it down quick, and the kick was made. And something else, as we talked about, right now they were going for 2 earlier. That kicking game's got to be good going into the playoffs. You never know when you're going to depend on it.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. 56-24 our score here with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play. Wildcats been very impressive on all 3 phases, offense, defense, and particularly tonight, one of the best special teams performances that we have seen all season.
And one of the more anemic special teams performances we've seen all season. It kind of balances out.
And it just goes to prove the old adage, you make mistakes against a talented bunch, and they're going to exploit it.
No
and
doubt
that is
about
exactly what Sunnyside High has done throughout this one. Their special teams effort really exploiting some of the mistakes on the cover teams of the Hoover Patriots and taking a long kickoff back, taking a punt back to the house. They have been very impressive tonight. Ortiz with a kickoff, boots it straight down the field. And we're going to get a return by the Patriots. This is Nutt, who already has a touchdown. He brings this one out across the 30-yard line. Just over 3 minutes to play, Fred.
See the Patriots offense again. Put up 3 touchdowns tonight. Had opportunities for some more points.
With 3 minutes to go, looking ahead next week, CMAX Sports hope you'll be with us for the final regular season game of the 2017 Central Valley High School football regular season. And Fred, I'll be away, but just got to put in there that it's been a treat to work with you today. You're so much fun to work with, so knowledgeable, and it's always a joy to be with you here for a high school football game. And the crew that we work with, they're the best. Outstanding.
Well, the feeling's mutual, Dan. It's been a lot of fun doing the games with you. I think I've pointed this out before. You know more about sports than anybody I've ever known in my life.
I'll get the check to you in the morning. Pass in, falls incomplete.
We have a very late flag.
What do you think, offensive or defensive, Fred?
I think they may call that on the defense, but it's
it is on the defense. You're right. We're going to go.
But it looked like the defender, 25, Anthony Molina, I believe it was there. It looked like he's about a foot shorter than Joe Smith was.
15 yards, first down.
And, you know, that's something we have not seen exploited enough tonight. When you've got a receiver with the talent of Joe Smith, as we take another look at that last play.
I kind of missed something there. I just won't comment on that one any further right now.
Daniels. Complete to Smith again, and the flag flies again.
Okay, let's see it now. Okay. Okay, now they're going to call that one on the Patriots.
Interference on the offense, 15 yards, replay,
you know, that referee can
first
put,
down.
man. He got back real quick to explain it, didn't he? If we can see that one again.
Yeah, that back judge just got some quicks.
Yeah, that was quite a stride.
Patriots right up to the line of scrimmage for the next play here.
Here's
take one more look at the interference call.
Okay.
Daniels to the near side out of bounds. Didn't see it though. May have been a push off on the route.
Possibly. And that game next Friday night, Dan, with Fresno High and Roosevelt, I believe that's the oldest rivalry game west of the Mississippi River.
Big game. It's always a load of fun in those two schools. I mean, my dad was a Fresno High grad, and I always remember his stories of the pig game and filling Ratcliffe Stadium in the 40s. Sellout crowds there, and the efforts made by both members of both school student bodies to steal that pig.
Well, next week, I believe that game's being played here, and last season, Fresno High laid a spanking on the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders are going to be going in with a 7-2 record, and they definitely have revenge on their mind on this one.
That should be a good game next week.
It should be.
Sorry I'll miss it, but glad you'll be here, and I assume with the coach Jojo Reyes. That'll be a fun commentary group, you two.
Yeah, we all
good insight.
Yeah, we always have a lot of fun too.
Great.
Hey, just doing a football game, we have a blast.
Good.
But Fresno High's a hard-nosed team.
They are.
And Roosevelt's got a lot of skill with luck. That team, they only lost one game this year by more than, they lost to Mendota by 6. They lost to Sunnyside by 2. They lost to Selma by 13. This is a good football team.
I know Harris is doing a terrific job rebuilding that program, and
certainly has.
He's got them coming back. Daniels to midfield, out of bounds.
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to see implemented, Dan, is to speed up the pace of the game in college and high school is when the ball goes, if the run goes out of bounds or the pass is incomplete, I think they should place the ball and play and wind the clock again. And then you could have a game where you still have 70 passes, but hell, when Fresno State played Brigham Young many years ago, that game lasted over 4.5 hours. You probably remember that. And all the passes that were in that game by both teams.
Smith holds it in at the 10. Terrific grab by Joe Smith down at the 10-yard line.
When you mentioned Smith being a weapon, Hoover was able to use him a lot earlier in the game.
Oh, balanced throw too, Fred.
Yeah, and going to his left side. Good concentration by Smith. Yeah, he and Moline have had quite a battle going on, and we have a downed Patriot on the field.
Indeed, an injured Patriot lineman at the 45-yard line being attended to. Terrific pass, though. Daniels going to his weak side, having to throw. And Smith hauling it in. That's a mismatch we've talked about throughout the night with Smith's height. Something that the Patriots have attempted a few times, but maybe not enough times to try and exploit.
Yeah, you get a weapon of that size that has good hands, and he's not scared of going up or going across the middle. Got to take advantage of that.
Well, the two teams, Hoover will head over toward their sideline to get around their coaching staff, get some instructions. Sunnyside staying out on the field. 2:16 to play, 1st and 7 for the Patriots. Actually, the first and goal.
That's Durian Brewer, another two-way lineman for the Patriots, limping off the field.
Teams lined up waiting for the whistle to blow, the signal from the official that the injured player is back on the Hoover sideline, and play will resume. There we go. As the clock begins anew at 2:12. Daniels looks for a receiver. Sidearm flip. Big Joe Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Just as we were saying, and with exactly 2 minutes left in the game, we have a 56-30 game with the PAT coming up.
Patriots get into the end zone for the 4th time tonight. The young tight end, Big Joe Smith, holds that one in. An impressive grab. 56-30 our score, 2 minutes to play from Sunnyside Stadium. Patriots are going to go for 2. They've converted on all 3 of their 2-point attempts tonight. Jordan Daniels running up the middle, and he is in for the 2.
And we've seen it now. I don't think I have seen this, Dan. 4 2-point conversions, 4 for 4.
That's a rarity, an absolute rarity in a high school football game. 4 2-point conversions in a game. Jordan Daniels just punched it straight up the gut and in. So your score 56-32 now with 2 minutes to play. I can only assume we're going to see the Patriots attempt another onside kick. See if they can get one more possession and add to their tally before this one ends.
56-32 doesn't sound too bad.
And indeed, the Patriots kicker Daniel Hernandez setting it up in an onside kicking position. You guess he's looking to get a bounce, Fred?
Oh, went to the other side and picked up by the Wildcats and stepped out of bounds. The Patriots with 2 timeouts left.
So the Wildcats have it spotted at the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line. 2 minutes remaining to play. And one could assume we're going to see the Wildcats run the ball 3 times and probably take a knee and wrap this one up.
That would be my plan if I were the head coach.
So Sunnyside High 2 minutes away from their 6th win of the season, 4th consecutive win thus far on the year. And of course, I'm sure as soon as this one's over, they're going to want to get on the phones and find out what's been happening down in Reedley between the host Pirates and the Fresno High Warriors. The Fresno High win in that one would crown Sunnyside High as the new North Yosemite League champions. And that play goes for about a 4-yard loss.
The Patriots close out the regular season next week against McLean, and they'll be going in with a 1-8 record. McLean is still winless. They're 0-9. They were beaten soundly by the Rough Riders last night here at Sunnyside. And I really like the Patriots' chances to come away with a victory in that game.
We've seen some good flashes from them tonight. Their injury list has also grown a little bit tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've had a couple of bad ones.
Andrews. Down to a minute to play now as the Wildcats are just milking that clock. Into the victory formation as they take a knee, and that should do it tonight. Nope, Hoover calls a timeout with 57 seconds to play.
Well, they want one more opportunity, I guess. They may get it.
3rd and 14 play coming up. Jordan Wood gets his Wildcats around him, and the Patriots will head over to talk to Justin Nast.
Well, Edison beat Madera South 54-0, which I thought that game could have been a little bit worse than it turned out to be.
Interesting way to say hello to their former coach, Matt Johnson.
Yeah, they may have taken it easy on their ex-coach, because I thought that had the opportunity where they may put 750 on them.
Wow.
And that sets up a game next week between Edison and Bullard. Now, Bullard's playing San Joaquin Memorial tonight. Memorial only has that one loss in league to Edison, and Bullard hasn't lost. Sanger was up in Madera. They only have one loss. We could have one heck of a log jam.
Wow.
I hope it happens.
3rd and 14, 57 seconds to play here. Kong pulls it back, and he's going to throw it. Hits the back of the Patriots defender.
And we have a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And I think the long pass was a result of Hoover taking a timeout after Sunnyside took a knee. I'm hoping we don't have words spoken after the game.
Waiting to find out the outcome of that discussion. As though they're positioning as if they're going to march it off against the Wildcats. Indeed they are.
It appears that happened after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, the penalty was declined by the Patriots. So it's going to be 4th down with the penalty being declined.
Indeed brings up a 4th and 14 from the 40-yard line.
It appears the Patriots are going to get the ball back one more time with 51 seconds left on the clock.
That goes back to field a punt, if there is one. Wildcats hurry members of their punt team. The unit onto the field, so they have 11. Dan Williams is going to go do some running and some Aussie rule style punting. That ball's going to take a bounce, and that fields it on the bounce, and up the far sideline he goes before being pushed out at the 45-yard line. So the clock stops at 39 seconds with the Wildcats just seconds away from their 6th win of the season, sitting on a 56-32 advantage.
Patriots with one timeout left have the ball at the 45-yard line. I'm guessing we may see Joe Smith being the target of a play or two.
Given that last drive, I don't see why not. Jordan Daniels barking out the signals. Bledsoe, no, this is Pearson. Breaks the tackle to the 30-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at the 25.
29 seconds left. Patriots pick up.
Pearson, he's been impressive.
Yes, he has.
And you're absolutely right. Hoover may be 1-7, but they're not a team without talent.
Gained him about 40 yards on that play, Dan.
And off he goes. He's replaced by Cameron Bledsoe in the backfield with 23 seconds remaining in this game. Daniels runs out of bounds with 14 seconds left. Patriots would like to get in the end zone one last time. Certainly a couple of drives they wish they could have over. The one right before the half, where they had a nice drive going and
ended up with that blocked field goal.
And then just to start the second half, the fumbled snap that was picked up by the Wildcats and taken right in for the score.
This game's about mistakes and teams taking advantage of them.
14 seconds to play, 2nd down and 7 for the Patriots, who want to get in the end zone one last time. Daniels, plenty of room to run. He's at the 10 and out of bounds at about the 7-yard line with 6 seconds to play.
Patriots have time for one more play. Maybe two if they get it off quick. I heard there's flags. Yeah, flag on the field.
We have a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty over there. Yes, we do against Hoover.
That's the NFL. Personal foul, defenseless player on the offense, 15 yards.
There you see the call, personal foul, and the Patriots, some of them.
Now in college in the NFL, this is a 10-second runoff in college in the NFL. If it's on the offense in the last, minute of the game or something, this game would have been over.
6 seconds to play. It's all that separates the Sunnyside High Wildcats from their 6th win of the season and potentially a North Yosemite League title-clinching win. Daniels going for Smith. He's being held up, and the ball's deflected, falls incomplete.
We're going to have pass interference.
We're going to have a pass interference call.
On Sunnyside, they're going to get another chance 15 yards closer.
So we await that call. And it's a pass.
That's on Hoover. I questioned that, but the game is now over. And final score, Dan, 56-32 in favor of Sunnyside.
Well, and it was impressive to see all three phases contribute to this. The offense, and maybe not their most productive night. The defense, impressive at times, but Hoover managed to put some very, very strong drives together against them. But it was the special teams that really came through on this night for Sunnyside.
It was definitely the difference maker.
So the Wildcats put their 6th win of the season in the books, and now they await to get the final score from Reedley to see if a Fresno High win down there could give them the North Yosemite League title. We've talked about that throughout the night. Two teams on the field shaking hands and congratulating one another. And Fred, as a former special teams coach, this was your kind of night.
Yeah, I like to see those big plays, but I don't like to see the big boo-boos. We had them both.
Absolutely, we did. A number of interesting plays as we talked about special teams, and this was one. Breon Heights had a huge night. Call it for us, Fred.
he just blew by, took advantage of a couple of blocks, and had about a 40-yard return there right in front of Coach Nast, who's clearly frustrated.
Williams out of the backfield on a semi-reverse, just turned on the Jets and picked up big yardage. She had a terrific night for the Wildcats in their winning effort. They're on the receiving end of the touchdown. And for the Patriots,
oh yeah,
what a hit.
That was the hit of the night right
hit.
there.
Absolutely. The defense swarming. It was Vincent Andrews, the original quarterback for the Patriots, who got injured, ankle injury in the second quarter, came out. And we talk about Deshaun Ruffin there with the interception. He had the touchdown grab a little bit earlier in these highlights, and Ruffin with the interception. This was a big play that could have gone for huge yardage and fell incomplete.
What is that? You know, again, wide open. The ball wasn't thrown quite right. Here's early in the game here. This is Andrews.
Very mobile out of that backfield, but would go out with he felt the high ankle injury, I guess it was. The block punt, special teams, just tremendous throughout the night. And here we go again, Fred, special teams for Sunnyside.
This can be, I think, an 83-yard return, isn't it?
Got great blocking, did a terrific job, exploited some mistakes that Hoover made there in their punt cover unit, and off he went for a huge touchdown. Pearson had a couple of big runs for the Patriots and long gainers. This a long first down on a third down and long yardage situation.
Yeah, Pearson made that play happen. Here's